As Chen walked down the street, a familiar voice called out to him. "Long time no see. Chen has been missing you these days." Chen immediately recognized the woman. 𝗲𝗏𝗀. He scoffed internally. 𝗲𝗏𝗀, always criticizing my close friends behind their backs. It was her who encouraged Zhang Xiaoqian to take over my house. His expression remained cold as he replied, "Missing me? Missing me for what? My house?" 𝗲𝗏𝗀 forced a smile. "Oh, Chen, Chen was just testing you before. Why are you so clueless? Don't you know how sad she was?" She then took a step closer and softened her tone. "Chen, can you accompany me for a walk? I'm not feeling very well. I scolded you yesterday, and I feel bad. Please don't be mad at me." Chen, uninterested in her act, replied flatly, "I have something to do today. You go ahead and stroll by yourself." Without waiting for a response, he turned and walked away. 𝗲𝗏𝗀's smile faltered. "What's going on? Isn't he acting too arrogantly?" Nearby, Zhang Xiaoqian and 𝗲𝗏 had been secretly watching. They noticed Chen flagging down a taxi. "Look, Chen is taking a taxi," Wang whispered. Zhang clenched her fists. "Hurry up and follow him. This must be his final test for us." Meanwhile, Chen arrived at an ice factory, where the factory manager greeted him warmly. "You must be Mr. Su. Oh my, you're really young," she exclaimed. Chen nodded. "Mr. Wu, we discussed the details over the phone. How long will it take to produce 2,000 tons of edible ice?" The manager beamed with confidence. "In our factory, we don't boast. But when it comes to efficiency, we are the best. 3 days. We can deliver 2,000 tons of edible ice in just 3 days. It will cost 400 yuan per ton, totaling 800,000 yuan. "All right," Chen said. "I'll transfer 100,000 yuan as a deposit. Deliver it to the address I provided in 3 days." The manager chuckled. "Heh, Mr. Su, why do you need so much ice? Is there a large-scale event? If you need more in the future, we can negotiate a better price." Chen's lips curled into a smirk. "I plan to donate it to 𝗗𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 for charity." Hearing this, the manager's admiration grew. An 800,000 yuan deal settled right at the entrance. This young man is really something. At that moment, Zhang Xiaoqian arrived at the factory with 𝗲𝗏𝗀. She approached the manager, putting on her most charming smile. "Boss, Chen is my fiancé. What were you talking about with him just now?" she asked sweetly. The manager glanced at her before answering. "Mr. Su just ordered 800,000 yuan worth of ice from us." Both Zhang and 𝗲𝗏𝗀 were stunned. They exchanged glances, their minds racing. "He must be super rich," 𝗲𝗏𝗀 muttered. "Boss," Zhang pressed further, "did Chen tell you what he's planning to do with so much ice?" The manager nodded. "He said he's donating it to 𝗗𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 for charity." Zhang's mind was in turmoil. Is he really that rich? A greedy glint flashed in her eyes as she reassured herself. Chen will marry me. Once I become his wife, I'll be introduced to wealthy people and live a luxurious life. Meanwhile, Chen had completed all his purchases. He took a deep breath, feeling a rare sense of relaxation. "Now that I've secured everything, it's time to enjoy life before the apocalypse." He recalled his past life, working tirelessly, never having the luxury to enjoy even a simple cafe visit, let alone a high-end restaurant. Determined to indulge himself, he entered a luxurious cafe. The waitress greeted him with a polite smile and handed him the menu. As he scanned through the options, his eyes landed on a dish labeled mystery food. Curious, he asked, "What's the special about this dish?" The waitress smiled. "It's personally crafted by the head chef of our Yalin music restaurant. The ingredients and preparation depend entirely on the chef's inspiration for the day." Intrigued, Chen ordered it. As he waited, he thought back to his previous life. At the beginning of the apocalypse, a strange force caused many creatures to mutate. Some food sources became highly toxic, while others gained unique properties. A few moments later, a woman emerged from the kitchen carrying his dish. Chen's eyes widened in shock as recognition hit him. 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀? In his past life, she was known as Hell's Chef, a woman with a mysterious ability. She could turn decayed, inedible food into gourmet meals. 𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀, noticing his stunned expression, raised an eyebrow. "What's with that look? Does he think a beauty like me would poison his food?" Chen quickly composed himself and took a bite. The flavors exploded in his mouth, rich and complex. He had to admit, it was exceptional. Meanwhile, outside the cafe, Zhang and 𝗲𝗏𝗀 spotted him through the window. Zhang's eyes gleamed with ambition. "He's really spending money like water. I will marry him and become super rich." Later that night, Chen decided to experience something he had never indulged in during his previous life, an expensive bar. As he entered, a group of women nearby noticed him immediately. "Hey, he's kinda cute," one of them giggled. Another leaned toward him. "Come sit with us." Chen ignored them and ordered a drink. Just then, A woman beside him suddenly grabbed the entire bottle and downed the alcohol in one go. His eyes widened in surprise. "What the?" The woman slammed the bottle down, her face flushed. "My boyfriend cheated on me," she muttered bitterly. Then she turned to him, her gaze slightly unfocused. "Hey, are you single?" Chen was caught off guard. Before he could answer, Zhang and 𝗏𝗏 entered the bar. Their eyes immediately locked onto him. Chen, ignoring their presence, helped the drunk woman upstairs and into a private room. Zhang and 𝗏𝗏, fueled by curiosity, followed closely behind. Inside the room, the woman suddenly mumbled, "It's my first time." Chen rolled his eyes and flicked her forehead. "You're drunk. Get some rest." Then his expression turned serious as he leaned down and whispered, "Stock up on food and necessary supplies. Don't go outside." He then turned and left the room, shaking his head. "Leaving this opportunity is a waste, but I have more important things to do." Just as he stepped out, he noticed Zhang and 𝗏𝗏 searching for him. His lips curled into a smirk. "These two again?"